Welcome back to part 3 of episode 16 of my Mr. The Breakdowns. This might be the last video of this series. I will probably do one or more videos about my Mr. Picking up different aspects, but this might be the last one of the series. Thank you so much for sticking with me until this point, and I hope you enjoyed it. We're looking now at the last 2 scenes that you voted for in episode 16 that are significant. And they are also possibly the most controversially interpreted by different people, okay? It's his breakdown and when they meet again and what the ending means. So let's talk about the ending in a minute, and let's talk about this first, when he sits by himself. And what is really important, I believe, for the understanding of this scene is that scene earlier when he's watching football with Ki-yoon, and Ki-yoon asks him, so how is she doing? And we, the audience, understand who he's talking about. And he says, how would I know? But you can see in his face that, he's pretending that it's not relevant because she's moved away. But what he doesn't say is that he's missing her and that he's sad that he does not know, that he doesn't have any contact with her, that happened, even though he knows it's the right thing. It's just the kind of thing I would say when I'm annoyed about something and I'm sad about something and I don't want to admit it. But anyway, it leads into this scene when he's eating by himself. He's just bought some stuff and he's eating by himself. And this happens. A lot of people have ideas about why this happens. Why is this happening? I believe, like, for a character who has kept it together all the time, who has been for many years sort of the rock for everybody, the one that's always unflappable, he has gone through a lot in these last 16 episodes of this drama. He has found a new side to himself. His marriage has broken up, and that's certainly my interpretation of it. His wife has gone to the US to study more, which, I don't 100% know whether he calls her the mother of his child or his wife. Either way, they have split up in practice. Whether they have got divorced yet, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't think it's clearly explained. But he's by himself now, without his wife, yes, but also without Jian. And there comes a point in your life when everything is over and you just have a bit of quiet and you're all by yourself. And all of a sudden, you have a chance for everything to release itself. And that's what seems to be happening here. But I think predominantly, he is missing Jian. It's great how we can see it's happening, how we can see it coming up, but he's holding it back. Now, for some people, this would be like, oh, this is slow. Why don't we just show him crying and move on to the next scene, right? But this is exactly how it happens, how we as the audience, we know something is coming and then it happens and it's like, it's so much better. The water's going past. First tears. Yeah, and what do you guys think? What are they mostly for, those tears? Yeah, you know my thoughts now, I mean, in a way, but let me know in the comments. And I love it because we see him having a completely private moment. And this is in acting terms, you call this a private moment. When the character's alone, it's not easy to do. There's also a film where John Malkovich does this very well. There's a film with Clint Eastwood and John Malkovich where he's an assassin, and you have him acting, being in his room by himself. There's also obviously the famous scene, Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro, when he's in the mirror and he's, that's a private moment as well. When the character's doing something by himself and something is happening, it's and this is a really beautiful way of being a fly on the wall in a completely private moment that he would not do in front of anyone else, but we, the audience, get to see it. And he's trying to switch on the TV to distract himself. But it's just too much. But it's so great when this happens, I mean, when you have that moment and everything comes out, you always feel so much better afterwards. And I don't know, watching this episode, for me, this links in with that moment when he was saying goodbye, go, I know it's the right thing. When she was saying, I'm going to move to Busan, for me, that's what it's about a lot. It's just when you're the closest person that's made your life special again is just gone. And again, this is moving because we have not seen this in 15 episodes. Him having a breakdown, breaking down, crying, not handling it or not controlling it. That's why this is so moving. Slow fade. And this next bit is great because, they could have just said, half a year later or 9 months later. Instead, they make it through the character here of the relationship breakdown between Gi-eun and Yura, which has been hinted at already before as well, at the funeral, for example, when obviously the problem is that she wants him to be a director again and wants him to show his talent, and he wants her to accept him how he is right now. But anyway, that's another side story. But we want to get to the last scene, the end, the big finale, the beautiful ending of this series. So let's look at it. And we've already seen Jian walking around. We haven't seen her face yet. We have also seen Dong-un in his new setting in a car with his teammates. And we know everything has changed. He's his own boss now. She has changed. She has been running sign language lessons, and we get a completely different vibe. The way they shot all this is completely changed from these muted colors. So let's have a look at this scene and what it all means. This is the end scene, when such a beautiful way as well of making her hear his voice first. Let's have a look. Her with friends from work, having a coffee. Beautiful. And now I just heard it as well in the background, his voice. It's great that they made it like that. A very distinctive voice anyway. I hear it a lot at the moment, actually. The beginning, the first time I watched it, I didn't hear it straight away, so it just blended in more in the background. But it's great that this is how they meet again. But I mean, we're already all happy because she has friends and she lives a normal life and she seems to be well dressed and looked after and so forth. And I don't know why this is so moving. So beautifully shot that we only see her new face. Well, her new face is the same face, but basically that we only see her face. Now we only follow her from behind. It's so great to do it like this. And now we see her face only through his eyes, because basically he's turned around, and now we see her face. It makes us feel like we're seeing it through his eyes. Does that make sense? It's quite ingenious. Yeah, don't tell me that these two people are not significant to each other. Oh, look at him. This is by far the happiest we've seen him in the whole drama ever. He looks like I've not seen this big grin on him before in this drama at all. Like, this is what I look like when I'm incredibly happy. I don't know how they made it happen, but it looks so different. He looks kind of cool now as well, with his no tie jacket. He looks like an entrepreneur, like a boss of something. His happiness is kind of scary almost. And they both have this vibe where you just, yeah, you can see how much this means. He looks way too happy, doesn't he? You can't wait to tell her that? Ah, look at him. Trying to impress her. Yeah, that seems to be his careful way of saying, can we hang out, please? I love that moment when she looked like she wanted to say something else, and then she gets interrupted. Again, one of those little moments that makes that just work. All these little details come together and it just makes it magical. And now you can almost see like the three friends of them, like, who's this guy? No. It's like, and we are now in a completely different drama in a way. Just to say, why do they shake hands? Why does he just suggest hands? Again, it's just the perfect move at that point from a writer's perspective. They find a new sort of equal way to touch. It's probably he can't go, let's have a hug. At the same time, it would be odd if they were just like, bye. So shaking hands is just the perfect middle way to physically connect and at the same time not put pressure on her. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. It's also very strong and equal. And this is perfect, isn't it, really? She's now the one buying him dinner. she's the one taking the initiative. It had to be her because, in a way, he was trying to let her go and do her thing and not make her unhappy by having her around. But now she's strong. She can buy him dinner. She feels empowered to do that, and she feels comfortable now to suggest that. And he can't get enough. Yeah, he's happy. He was worried that she wouldn't say anything, and he would have missed it again, and he can't hide his happiness. She's calling him. Okay. She's doing it. I think as well, she must get a sense from his reaction. Like, I mean, I think they both know that where they are, even beforehand, they seem to have this understanding that they know that the other one cares about them just as much as the other one. It's just, I think she also understood more and more the situation he was in. And now they are meeting again in a new setting, in a new way, with a new sense of self, new empowerment. So, and it just is the perfect balance to make everybody, yeah, and he's proud of himself now and happy. But that face, you only get that. You only get that face when something truly great happened to you, and when you've just reconnected with somebody that, you want to see again. I've had that a few times in my life, of course, and so I relate to this a lot. Now, this, of course, is a bit of a beautiful way of playing with the cliche of walking away, looking back. Does he look back? Does she look back? And what I love here is that they don't see each other looking back, but they kind of communicate telepathically anyway, at least in this drama. So he's looking at her. And now she's looking back. But also it's nice that he didn't feel he needed to stay and look until she looked to get that reassurance. It doesn't matter because he just wanted to see her walk happily with some friends. And she looks back now. Perfectly balanced for us as the viewers to have feelings about it. And now this. And here we are, the end of the drama. So, what do you think the last scene means? To me, it means they're going to meet up. It means she's going to buy him dinner and they're going to talk to each other like they have before. But they are both different people now. He is independent more now. He's not in an actual relationship, my understanding at least. He's in the process of divorcing probably. At least he's not in an actual marriage. And she is a lot more empowered, strong, whatever. They look good together. Who knows what will happen? Frankly, we don't know. But either way, anything is possible at this stage. But they are now both empowered. Her journey in this drama is the most beautiful of any character's journey in my mind. And how that happened with the two of them and everybody else involved makes this drama just so amazing, in my view. This ending was just so beautifully judged, with a handshake, with her suggesting the dinner, and, it's just, perfectly rounded off. All right, so now, let me know your thoughts here in the comments. And I can't wait to talk this through with you. And I'll see you in the next video.